I'm Todd Miller with D'Addario Strings, and welcome back to Guitar 101. This is lesson 11.5. It's our last caged lesson, and here we're going to start talking about playing things in different keys. One of the neatest things about the CAGED system is it makes it easy for me to see all these different keys in one position. So a great exercise to start applying this and kind of get it in your head is to play what we call the circle of fourths. So I'm going to use my CAGED shapes and I'm going to move up a fourth every time. But I'm going to stay in the same position. So I'm going to play a D chord, then a G chord, then a C chord, then an F chord, and I'm going to keep moving up in fourths, but I'm going to stay in the same position. Now, it doesn't work perfectly in the same position. You have to do a little bit of moving up or down, but for the most part, we stay in the same position. So let's see how that works. I'm going to play a D chord in second position. So now I'm just going to talk about the chords. I'm not going to talk about the shapes. I'm just going to talk about which chord, the actual chord I'm playing. D, and then next we're going to play a G chord, C chord, an F chord, a B flat chord, an E flat chord, an A flat chord, a D flat chord, a G flat chord, a B chord, an E chord, and an A chord. And then I've played every possible chord, every possible major chord, and now we're back where we started in the key of D. So I did move up a position, which it's kind of how it works out usually. But for the most part, I went to the next closest possible chord shape. Let's look at that one more time. D chord, there's my closest G chord, to my closest C chord, to my closest F chord, to my closest B flat chord, my closest E flat chord, my closest A flat chord, D flat, G flat, to B, to E, A, and back to D. So this is a great tool for all kinds of things. If I'm maybe playing a chord progression where I need to switch scales, I can see both those scales in one place. I could see a G major scale in second position. And then I could find a C major scale in that same position. So I could switch back and forth between those two scales pretty easily. Okay. Also, it's a great way to develop your chord voicings. One of our most common chord progressions maybe is A to D to G. So I could do that using all my different voicings. I can play open A, D, and G. I could play it as A to D to G. So now I'm kind of using some fragments. It comes out of A to D to G, but maybe I might just play the middle part of it. Lots of tunes are based on that pattern. I could play it A, D, G here. I could play it, let's see here, A, D, G. And then I'm really back where I started. A, D, G. Or, yeah, that's the best way to go. So that's kind of a quick example of how you might use all those CAGED shapes to really expand what you can do harmonically and melodically. So hopefully that kind of gives you a good overview of the CAGED system. Take your time with it. It's a lot of information and a lot of ways to apply it. One of my favorite cliches is, how do you eat an elephant? Oh, you ask. One bite at a time. So your CAGED system, one bite at a time, little by little. Get one part down, really build on that, and add the next part. So good luck with it. Go practice and work hard. Thanks for watching.